My name is Clint Walker, and while I'm known in the firearms industry for long-range precision shooting and also firearm development, I didn't actually grow up doing any hunting. So it wasn't actually until I got into the firearms industry that I started hunting on my own. And I always envisioned myself hunting and having that sort of adventure when I was a kid, but I didn't have the opportunities to do it. Many years ago, I made the decision, my wife and I made the decision to leave Southern California and we moved to Northwest Montana. And part of that dream and vision that we had early on in our relationship was if we were going to start a family, that we wanted to raise them in an area that would give them access to the many outdoor pursuits that are available here. For us, I think that really gets to the root of the question: where does a legacy begin, right? And because growing up, I wasn't in a family where we really were close and had our own traditions and legacies. It gave me an idea to figure out how am I going to shape my own.
My name is Bo Walker, and I've been growing up in Kalispell, Montana for my entire life. Some of the outdoor activities that I enjoy are fishing and hunting, and like in the winter we do skiing and stuff. And it's a beautiful place to grow up in, and I enjoy it. I enjoy hunting, whether it's in Texas or Montana. I enjoy it because it lets me know that if I ever needed to shoot and kill an animal, I would be able to provide for myself, and that I know how to shoot a gun.
Preparing for Texas was fun. I left it up to the kids. You tell me when you're ready to harvest your first animal. When you're ready to hunt, you just tell me when. For my daughter, at 13 years old, she said, "Dad, I want to get my buck this year." So I called a friend of mine who has a ranch down in Texas, and I said, "Hey, can we come down there? It's a low fence operation. It's not a game farm, but can we get down there and maybe get a tag and hunt?" And I knew I wanted to shoot suppressed so that we could really just take in the overall experience, hear the sights and sounds and not block them out with earmuffs. So we put the rifle together, 6mm Creed with a Helix barrel, went out to the range, and it was incredible. She shoots this 6mm Creed more like she would shoot her .22. I mean, she was very, very precise, and she's always been a naturally gifted shooter. We had scouted out the ranch. So the morning of the hunt, we had a pretty good idea of what was there. We had seen some pictures of some nice deer on the trail cam, and it was exciting. I mean, Bo woke up. She was obviously excited to hunt, and then we got into the stand, and it actually came together very quickly. The sun came up. It was bright enough for us to see, and boom! Within minutes, there were a couple bucks within 80 to 100 yards. We saw Bo's deer. She decided, this is the one that she wants to shoot. Leroy, my friend that owns the ranch, was there, and he said that's a good shooter, and so we were on it.
He's looking right at us right now. Yeah. Got a good picture. What is it? Stop. Wait till it stops.
She picked a spot and she shot.
Okay, right there, put it right behind the shoulder. You can do it, Bo. Do it. Good shot. You got him, honey. Good shot.
She hit her deer. It was a clean hit, and for me, that moment, it was like when your life flashes before your eyes. You know, for me it was, sorry, I'm picturing my daughter from when she's 5 years old. And this was many, many years in the making. It wasn't just, you know, me teaching her, it was teaching myself. And I realized a couple things. You know, one, this was an epic moment in the timeline of father-daughter, for sure. But also for her, that she was living a dream that we both shared, and it was very emotional for me.
I feel very lucky that I got to have this experience, and I just got to go on a hunting trip with just my dad. A lot of people don't get the experiences that I've had, and I just feel very lucky that I got to share that experience with my dad.
I touched on this a little bit earlier. You know, how do you start a legacy? You know, it begins somewhere. You know, the rifle that we shoot, the hunt with this first deer is part of our story. It's part of our legacy. And I put as much effort and detail into that rifle, knowing that that would be handed down someday, that Bo would have that rifle and maybe hunt with her son or daughter someday. The Helix barrel for me is, I know if I get that barrel and right out of the box, if I go to the effort of marrying it up to an action and putting it into a chassis and building this rifle, I know that that barrel is going to perform 10 times out of 10. It was one of those things where you realize goal achieved, all of the effort that we put into it coming there. For me, it was a moment that I wanted to slow it down. I touched on this a little bit earlier. You know, how do you start a legacy? You know, it begins somewhere, and those traditions. And this is something that I had to recognize myself as an adult, was we build our own traditions and legacies. I was super enamored with both of my grandfather's stories and the families that they started and the traditions that they held. And I remember at a young age going, man, I wish that, you know, I had those traditions. And even now as I'm retelling it, I can see it so clearly, like it just happened. And it was just incredible.